Welcome to day 6 of the 30-day healthy lifestyle journey. And I'm Dr. Lori here to guide you. Today, we're talking about something that makes fasting so much easier. And we have already hinted about it earlier in the series, but we're going to talk about how to build a balanced plate when you eat. But first, I want to know how your swaps went yesterday. Did you find a food that was harder to swap than others? I want you to remember that this is a journey and you will continue to swap for the rest of these 30 days and until they become a habit. So, why a balanced plate? Well, if we want steady energy, if we want fewer cravings, if we want to glide through our fasting window without thinking about food, if you want to tame those hunger hormones that got chemically altered with the GLP-1 drugs, then today we're going to talk about your secret weapon. And a balanced plate is that weapon. We want 3 anchors in our balanced plate. We want protein, fiber, and healthy fats. So let's break those down. The first anchor is protein, and protein keeps us full. It stabilizes our blood sugar. It supports our muscles, and it prevents that crashy hunger. But most people simply do not eat enough protein. I want you to think meats, beef, chicken, tuna, fish, legumes, nuts, seeds. I like to consume protein at every meal that I eat, and I also recommend this to my clients. Now, if you have kidney challenges, then you may need to take and monitor the amount of protein that you're taking in. If you do have a medical challenge, please consult your healthcare provider before following these recommendations. Again, this information is for educational purposes only, and it does not replace professional medical advice. I also drink protein shakes, as sometimes it is just too hard to consume as much protein as I want. I just can't chew that much. Now, my favorite protein shake includes half of an avocado and some berries. I like to mix it up. I usually put a scoop of matcha green tea and then either unsweetened cocoa powder or a carob powder in there because I love the chocolate taste in there. Now, there are definitely better proteins out there than others. We want to look at the label and look at the sugar content and the other ingredients. I will also put my favorite protein in the comments. The second anchor is fiber. Now we have 2 different kinds of fibers. We have soluble, and then we have insoluble. Now, soluble fiber dissolves in water, and it slows digestion. It also feeds the good bacteria in our gut. We can find this type of fiber in beans, apples, citrus foods. Psyllium husk is really popular, and even some nuts. Now, insoluble fiber does not dissolve in water, and it provides more bulk in our stools to help our food pass through our digestive system. This can be in vegetables, the skins of fruits, wheat bran, but we need both types of fiber for better gut health. When I talk about increasing the fiber, I like to focus on nature's carbs. The same thing that we're already focusing on. more fruits and vegetables and whole foods because they're going to slow the digestion and keep you satisfied. So we want to think about foods and these nature's carbs that are grown, right? They're from the ground, they're from plants, they're from trees. Now, one of the things I want you to think about, though, is when we start adding fiber, is we want to work up slowly. We want to think about adding 1 or 2 fruits or vegetables a day, and that includes a serving. Some fruits or vegetables, the whole fruit may not be 1 serving, it might be more than that. So we need to look at the servings and see. And then we want to make sure that our system can get used to it before we add more. Our third anchor is healthy fats. And we've talked about this before. So some of our healthier fats include avocados, nuts, extra virgin olive oil, salmons, fatty fishes, coconut oil, because they're going to give us long sustained energy, and they're also going to help us control our cravings. I don't want you to be afraid of fats. Many of our years have been spent on low fat crazes. As a matter of fact, I went to school during the low fat craze. And I was taught in school to make sure that we are pushing lower fats with our clients. But I'm going to tell you that that is not what we want to do anymore. We have learned. We know from studies that fat is not necessarily the culprit. We know that refined carbohydrates and processed carbohydrates are more of the problem. So there is a study that looked at saturated fat because saturated fat has really been given a bad name. And I don't want you to fear fats, particularly the healthy fats. So it's more the polyunsaturated fats, such as our vegetable seed oils, that we need to worry about. I want you to imagine a plate with all 3 of our anchors. If it has protein and fiber and healthy fat, it can equal satiety. We're full. Stability, no swings in our blood sugar levels, and more metabolic calm in our body. When we also have meals like this, fasting becomes less about willpower and more about a rhythm. So today, your action step is simple. You're going to look at your meals and ask yourself, do I have all 3 anchors? If you do, great job. And if you don't, that's okay. We're going to add 1 in. Remember, little tweaks make a huge difference. Now that's it for today. Now go out and make it a healthy day.